guys? It's Wednesday, May 18th, about 8:45, and today we were doing the Bar Down Lottery. I know a few of you were expecting me to do it last week, but I ended up getting spontaneously invited to my friend's camping trip because one of my other friends got sick and couldn't go. I didn't have any internet access there at all until I finally got home today, so figured we'll do it today and get it over with. I know left you guys high and dry. Looking forward to it. I haven't been on the site in a few days either. But I'm finally here, so let's get to it. Heading into this draft, there's only two teams with two picks in the top 14. That's the Anaheim Ducks at 3 and 12, and the Tampa Bay Lightning picking back to back at 10 and 11. Sure, they'd love to win those spots with their lower picks and jump all the way up into the top three spots. Also, the Carolina Hurricanes are currently vacant, so trying to find a replacement GM for both them and I believe the New York Islanders. So if anybody knows anyone that wants to join, let us know. We'll like to fill those spots up pretty quickly so that people could settle in before the draft and get acquainted to the league and whatnot. But for those of you who saw the OGSHL draft, I'm sure you guys saw that Kevin's team over there, I believe they were picking ninth overall, jumped all the way up to second overall. So that's a pretty big jump for them. And Kevin here, who's the Dallas Stars, is actually picking first overall right now heading into the lottery. So it'll be very interesting if you can get lucky. Two drafts in a row. But let's get to it. Those of you who aren't part of our other salary cap league, the OGSHL, and haven't been in the league prior, we use draftlotto.com. It's probably the best lottery simulator site to use. I haven't really found any other one that I like as much that lets you put all the teams in and do a lot of things manually that you can't do on other websites for some reason. The only thing about this website is you can't use percentages. So if you look at the Columbus Blue Jackets, they have 13.5%. It won't let me do 13.5. So we have to multiply everything by 10. So there'll be 1,000 balls instead of 100, and there'll be 135 balls instead of 13.5%. But luckily, all the percentages are exactly the same. It's just we have to do this in order to make the draft lottery work. This is also probably the most boring part of the video. It's extremely boring to me as it is to you watching it. Also, in the previous video, I heard how loud my typing is on my MacBook, so hope you guys enjoy it. Again, for those of you who are in the OGSHL, I'll have to hear it twice. I finished 8th overall, well, 8th to last, I guess you would say, in the standings this year. I actually thought I was going to finish a little bit higher than I did. I was figuring I'd finish just outside the playoffs after acquiring a few players. I believe I got a Ryan O'Reilly. I got an actual goaltender with Jake Allen. Vasilevsky's rating was pretty low. And my team just kept losing. I don't understand how that kept happening. Actually, especially at the beginning of the year, I think I was like 18-2 or something crazy like that. I don't know if it was to that extreme, but I remember I was leading the league for a little bit there with my god-awful roster that I had at the beginning of the year, rating-wise, and they finally decided to lose. I mean, if I lost earlier, I probably would be picking a little bit lower, but it is what it is. I have a pretty good team, I would say, here, so I'm not too concerned. The top 10 is pretty much pretty deep, I would say. Outside the top 10, I think, is where you start to see a drop-off compared to last year's draft. But we will see. I think each draft there's always those hidden gems. There was Pasternak in the other draft, too. Ended up going like almost at the end of the first round. So that was pretty good pickup for the Bruins a few years ago. And last year, you have Sebastian Aho, who got picked in the second round by the Hurricanes. He's looking like he should have maybe gone even in the top 15 of last year's draft. So anything's really possible in these drafts, but if you're basing this one on the previous drafts, I would say it's a little bit weaker. But in the top 10, I think it's about the same, especially with Austin Matthews. And then you have, of course, the two Finns. For what we're going to do here with Tampa Bay and Anaheim's other picks, we're going to put them in parentheses from the original team they're in. One thing about Draft Lotto is that you actually can't run the lottery if you have two of these teams with the same name. So that's something that's pretty cool, I find. It lets you know when you're screwing up. I'm sure Chris would be pretty heated if his pick wins the lottery here, considering he doesn't own it. The Bruins. He made a big trade, trading away Stamkos. That was a pretty big trade. I think he actually went to Russ's team. I think Russ's team is on the brink of getting eliminated in the playoffs. I think he's down 3-2 to Will's LA team here, so that would be interesting if Will can pull it off after they traded Crosby and Taves to each other. I think everything is good to go right now. We're just gonna put all this stuff follow default order. What we're gonna do is whenever somebody wins the lottery, we're gonna just delete that team, and instead of this being 14 teams, it'll just be the 13 teams that are remaining, and we'll do it for pick number 2, and then we'll do it again for pick number 3. Alright, so without further ado, the first overall pick in the Bar Down Simulation Hockey League goes to the New York Rangers. Wow. I believe that's Joe. The other Joe, not me. I wish that one was me. But yeah, congratulations, Joe, on what I would presume would be Auston Matthews. So now what we're going to do is, when I drop this to 13 teams, it's going to get rid of Ottawa. And we're going to put Ottawa here where the Rangers were. And we're going to put their 10 balls here. So now there's only 935 balls, so everybody's percentages go up a little bit. Especially the higher end teams, their percentages jump up, I think, 1 to 2% right now. But let's see who's picking second overall. And the second overall pick goes to the Carolina Hurricanes. Wow, that's huge considering how bad that team is. That's a big step in the right direction for them, I would say. They definitely needed to win that. I don't know what the previous GMs were doing there, but that team is probably the worst team I've seen in a while in almost any other sim league. And hate to be blunt about it, but that's just the way it is. I'm sure it's not too appealing for anybody that's looking to take it over, but you have the number 2 pick now, so you could do some damage with that. Either sell it off and get huge assets for it, or just pick that top player. Top 3 are pretty much a lock, I would say, to be first-line talent. And maybe even potentially top 20 players in the league eventually. But alright, let's finish this lottery. Picking 3rd overall, we have the Washington Capitals. That's big jump. What's also crazy about this draft is nobody in the top 3 ended up winning any of the lottery spots. That's actually crazy, considering that's a big drop-off. You have the Ducks, who are picking at 3 or at 6. Kevin's picking at 4 now with his Stars, and Columbus is picking at 5th. Wow. That's crazy. I was not expecting that at all. I'm sure none of you were expecting that either. We just had... so we have 7th is now picking 1st overall. You have Joe's Rangers picking 1st overall. Then you have Carolina jumping up from 4 to number 2. And you have Washington jumping all the way up from 9 to number 3. That lucky 9 spot seems to be where you want to be heading into these drafts. That's the second time in a row where we saw the 9th pick jump up into the lottery. OGSHL, it jumped up into the 2nd overall pick, and now it's the 3rd overall pick. So if my team was able to win one more game, that could have been me in the top 3. But actually, that moves me down. So I'm actually a little ticked off now. I just realized that. I'm picking 9th now. Awesome. But hopefully, maybe I'll end up trading this pick now. I'm not really sure if I want to take a little bit longer approach with my roster right now. I wanted to start competing, probably not next year, considering I would probably have to make quite a few moves in order to do that. I mean, I have a solid basis, but I don't think I'm anywhere close to winning a cup, especially with my goaltending right now. It's pretty young. I don't think it's really going to get me anywhere next season. So next season I'll probably expect to miss the playoffs again, but start building to finally compete here like I did in the OGSHL, where I put all my chips in You still have, well, there I have McDavid and Eichel, and now I have Stamkos and McKinnon there as well. So I guess it's really not putting all your chips in, but made a few moves to actually be competing, which is what I want to do here eventually. The team is really young here, but enough about me. Let's take a look at the playoff bracket. Today's games we saw Florida actually beat Montreal. That's going to Game 7 now. I haven't been here in a while actually, so it's my first time actually like looking at the whole standings. I just glanced at it earlier, but I had no clue that that was going to Game 7. I thought Florida just won the series. I thought today was Game 7. That's how long I've been away. But yeah, you have Pittsburgh actually. Wow. I'm surprised the Flyers were even there playing Pittsburgh. The Flyers team. Oh, I guess they played the Islanders last round, so that was a toss-up. But you have Colossus Wild actually down 3-2. That's was not expecting that. I guess you could say the same thing with Russ's team. Now he's down 3-2 to Will's Kings, but tomorrow will be a big day. Either we'll have either 3 Game 7s or 2 Game 7s or just a 1 Game 7, and you'll have pretty big letdown years for both the Wild and Flames. I thought they were gonna be the locks for sure for heading into the Western Conference Finals, but I think whoever comes out of the West is actually going to win the Cup. I don't really see the East doing much damage. Although Panthers and Penguins, I think Panthers have Jamie Benn and the Penguins have Backstrom, so anything's really possible, especially with how random the sim can be sometimes. I've seen some crazy teams win a cup before where they had no business even making it past the first round, so that's what it is. Regarding the sim, the ratings, believe Kyle was working on them while I was gone, so I think we're probably about another 5 days away, and then we have to put them into the sim and run some test runs and make sure or the points aren't too high or they're not too low. So I think we'll be good to go here in a little bit. Probably expect the ratings done. I wanted to get them done earlier, but I went away, so probably get them done before the 1st of June at least. So I'll get that to you guys. So yeah, I look forward to the draft. I'm sure some of you are going to be pretty shocked at what's going on after I post this video, so it'll be interesting. I'm going to post this onto YouTube right now. It's about 9 o'clock right now, so I'll probably be posting it on the site around 9:30. So good luck to everybody heading into the draft and to the playoff teams that are left, and let's have a good season.